Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another week of English 4. I'm coming to you a little differently this week because I wanted to explain a couple things about what's going on as we move on. You should have received an announcement from me earlier today about the evaluation for English 4. I'll talk about that in a couple minutes. And I want to talk about what we're doing this week and the next couple of weeks as we follow up with the last few weeks of the course here. So to do that, I'm going to switch my screen to to share screen, and I'm going to bring up our course. There we go. So you should have received this message earlier today. A decision was made that this course could continue as it has been doing with the permanent evaluation, and we would not need a written or an oral exam, which is fine. We'll be able to meet all of our objectives and all of that without the written exam. So that's good news. The only thing that does change is we had originally scheduled to do a group presentation. But because the ECTS does not specify that we have to do a group presentation, we're just not going to do that. It's a bit easier on you guys not to have to coordinate group presentations and things like that. I know you have to do it either for Inspiration Lab or Campaign or After 5 or some of your other courses, but there's no reason to add that extra stress to you in this course. So that's good news, but there will be an individual presentation. And in the next couple of weeks, I'll talk about what exactly that's going to be and exactly how we're going to do it. It'll actually be a bit easier for all of you because it won't be a live individual presentation. That means that you have the opportunity to record yourself being the best version of yourself as possible for your grade. So that'll be very, very helpful. So what I want to do is talk about this week. So I'm going to go over to the modules, and as always, it's split between the two groups only because that's how it was originally set up, and we thought we would be back. So I'm going to just go to week 8. Here we are. You have your quiz for today, which is based on Unit 6. Unit 6's answer key was posted on Monday, as is always the case. So please do that. I think the quiz is a bit easier today, I'm hoping. So that'll be a good thing. The focus for the next couple of weeks is going to be building up your oral skills. We're going to look specifically at some voice and language techniques to improve your speaking in English. So how this works for the next couple of weeks is, for example, you have this skill, articulation. If you open this document, you will read this information about articulation. What does it mean? It gives you some exercises, how you can practice and improve your articulation. It even gives you a bunch of tongue twisters. So if in the next couple of exercises that you do, and I report back to you that maybe you're having a problem with the consonant F, then you might want to try practicing these, okay? Things like that. So it gives you some exercises. In addition, it gives you some videos showing people who have really good articulation skills. So there's something to look at. It's always good. You can read about it, you can practice it, but to hear good articulation, that's also very important. So you read the skill, you go through it and see what you want to do with it. Then you go back, and there is a quiz, just a short quiz. I believe in this one, it's only 4 questions. They're like true-false questions. Sometimes they're multiple choice questions. No fill in the blanks, nothing like that. They're really pretty simple to use, pretty simple to do. You do the quiz. You have 3 skills like that for this week: articulation, volume decrease, and volume increase, which we don't normally think about these things, but there are times when you should be using a decrease in your volume and an increase in your volume, depending on what you're trying to emphasize or de-emphasize in your presentation. Then, this is new. Excuse me. You have what's called the Flipgrid assignment. A Flipgrid is an external tool to Canvas, but what's nice is Canvas allows us to integrate it, so you don't have to go to a separate tool. So if you open up this assignment, what it tells you is you need to load it in a new window. So if you do this, it opens up Flipgrid in a new window that looks like this. Okay? Pretty simple. You don't have to worry about logging in. Everything works through your Canvas account. Here's the topic you have to talk about. You have to talk about what lessons have you learned so far from living through this pandemic. Think about good language, because that's really what we're looking at here. So think about, for example, how you can present this in a way that makes sense. So it says lessons, so you want to talk about more than one. You might want to use words like the first lesson I learned, the second lesson I learned, the third lesson I learned, something like that. You want to be able to give, not only did you learn that lesson, but how did you learn that lesson, or what's some examples of you putting that lesson into practice. You have to speak for 5 minutes, so that's more than enough time to get in a couple good examples of lessons you've learned with some supporting details, using good language that directs me, the listener, through your short little public speaking event. You also need to focus on the skills for this week. So you'll be graded specifically on the skills: articulation, volume increase, and volume decrease. That'll be part of the rubric for grading you. The other part, a smaller part, of course, is your language, your lexis, and also your lexis when it comes to grammar. So still think about your tenses, still think about the right articles, the right word order, things like that. The grammar is not as heavy as it is in the writing, because in the writing you have more to think about: capitalization, punctuation, all of that. This is really, for the message to be understood, are you saying the right things? Are you saying the right words, the right vocabulary? Are you saying the right grammar? So do that. What you're going to do is you're going to record it. So you do need to have hopefully a webcam connected, and you simply click this button and it allows you to record a response. Now, because everything is done via Canvas in this tool, everything is very public, or very private, I should say. Nobody else can see it except us, okay? And I'm not doing any of sharing of videos or asking you to comment on videos and things like that of other students. So you just need to focus on your own videos. It will ask you, I believe, for your Thomas More email address when you submit the video. But that's just to guarantee that you're coming through Thomas More. And it recognizes the Thomas More email address for students. So you do that, and then, yeah, that's it. So you take the quiz, you read the 3 skills, you take the appropriate quiz with those, you do this assignment, and then, of course, the last thing you do is you prepare the next unit. And the next unit is Unit 7. So we have 2 more units left in the book, Unit 7 and Unit 8. So again, it's the same thing. You skip section 7.4. All the presentation sections we'll take a look at when it comes to do your individual presentation. Not all of them, I should say, but some of them. Okay, so that is what I would like you to work on this week. I am starting to work on the grading, so grades are not released until I have everybody done. So you should be starting to get grades and have an understanding of where you stand in the class. But keep in mind, if you are submitting the work, if you're putting in your best effort, that's the most I can ask of you at this point. And that will be very, very helpful. I have left assignments pretty much open for you to submit them. So if for some reason you didn't necessarily get an assignment in before Easter because you were too busy with campaign or After 5 or Inspiration Lab, yeah, I understand. I truly do. You can send me an email. That's always fair to me that you send me an email explaining the situation. If for some reason the upload zone is not open, I will reopen it for you. And I have not taken points off for assignments being late. So keep that in mind, that I'm not penalizing you because of this environment. So please get everything done. The only thing that you cannot make up, of course, unless you have some true reason for not getting the quiz done in the 2 days that it's available, because the quiz has to be done in the same week. If that's not possible for some reason, then of course you need to send me an email and let me know. So keep that in mind. Remember, the quizzes are timed and things like that. So keep that in mind as well. But it's important that you get the work in. All the written assignments will be graded. The Flipgrid assignments will be graded. Your work on all the practice quizzes will be directly reflected in your final grade. If you put in an effort into these things, you practice them, and then I start to see these concepts showing up in your writing, then that is what they're there for. And those are always open for you to go back and do them. At this point, I am not anticipating giving you any more writing assignments. So you can consider the writing assignments for now to be done. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. There's no reason. I think you've done a lot of writing in this course. Good luck, good job with that. So there's no reason to give you any more writing. Let's focus on presentation, voice techniques, language techniques to become better presenters and speakers in English in this period. So hopefully this will be a little lighter for you as you're coming into to the end of the semester, which always becomes more difficult for students. So keep that in mind, keep going. We have 2 more units and then those are done totally. We don't have to worry about those anymore. And then we'll be able to cruise into whatever version of summer is going to come our way. So I will be available today from 10:45 to 12:45 in the chat. If you have any questions, of course, you can always send me an email, but I prefer that you come up, if you have a question now, that you come to the chat and ask me. It's just easier than having to make sure I respond to every single email. So, yeah, good luck with everything. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.